Action Comics 1013. Brian Michael Bendis writing with Simon Kredansky on the art.
Yeah.
What a name. So
Yeah.
Superman's back in action this issue because he was
Hmm.
missing all last issue,
A little
if you
bit.
recall. Joe, it's funny. Obviously, one of the complaints we've had a lot of this month with the books is this year the villain, the author stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I will say there's two books this week that I think use it better than any of the other books that we've had all
Yep.
month, and this is one of them.
They break the formula, and
Yeah,
here that's what I like because it was becoming too much of a formula. It felt tagged on. Here it felt like part of the story,
yeah.
and I
'Cause
think that helps when you're Bendis, right?
Yeah,
Like,
because we have both at the start and the end because we have two different characters who
mhm.
get the offer,
Yep.
and the good thing about the opening scene because it's Leon who Luther comes to
Mhm.
and reveals that yeah I knew about you all this whole time, you building your
Yep.
secret empire in Metropolis, I knew about you, and instead of taking what he's offering, which is in this box we don't get to see,
Yep.
she basically gets her guards to run her out and demolishes the house because okay well this place is burned, like no one can know I'm
Yep.
here, so
And this is how you can tell she's very. This is how she's been able to keep it a secret. I mean, not from Lex because he's Lex, right? Like, but she does stuff like this, and I love how the henchmen are like, "Well, do you want us to get any paintings?" She's like, "Nah, you gotta leave everything. We gotta go."
yeah.
And it shows just how far she's willing to go to keep her mafia invisible.
Uh, Goods with Perry, and she's trying to like pitch the story that she got from Rose and Thorn,
Yep.
and we get some more of the images of that. We get more of the story of how she was offered. She kind of turned it down, and then was
Yep.
attacked in her house.
Right.
Um,
By his people,
yeah,
by well, their people, Leviathan. So again, it's now seeming to like me, maybe they're not that altruistic. I've been waffling back and forth, which I think that's a good mystery, right? Where you think you have it figured out, they add a new detail and it throws everything off.
yeah.
Um,
I love the coloring in the this part of the story where we
yep,
get her like fight because she comes in, she becomes Rose, realizes she's in danger, and becomes Thorn again. And starts just wrecking them, and it's just all these black steep reds. Um,
yep. Well, and I love the borders too. That the more she goes into Thorn, the more sketchy the borders get, and they're red.
hmm.
Which is real cool.
Good.
Um,
And she's telling us to Perry, and she's trying to convince him there's a story here, and
good.
he actually eventually agrees. She has kind of a funny moment though, where her hand kind of starts to like go into red mist, and she has to like run
Yeah.
out. And he actually compliments her when she leaves, going, "Oh, she got the yes," and just immediately ran away. She's starting to fit in.
Yeah. Well, because he tells her also write both pieces because there's two pieces here about Rose and Thorn, number one, and the second one is about Leviathan. Because there's two different scopes here doing both, um, which I thought was pretty cool. Then we see her in the bathroom, and Trish comes through, which I thought was a funny, nice little late moment. It's like Perry finds out you're smoking in here because she's in red cloud mode.
Yeah, this is just a fun little bit of
She's
humor
gonna be
to
mad. Yeah.
give it some pacing. Superman's back on the next page, and
Mhm.
he comes down to stop Thorn, who is just blasting Leviathan soldiers
Yep.
as much as she can. There's actually a point where I was like, why is Superman not intervening? Because there's a really funny moment where she just kind of like shoots someone behind her. But then
Yep.
Superman mentions, no, their armor's bulletproof. He knows he doesn't have to. So I was like,
Right.
okay, nice. Fair
They're
enough.
they're bulletproof, and he knows what he has to do because he X-rays stuff. But then this is where we find out that blue aura that's been snapping people is a teleportation thing.
Yeah, because he gets teleported to India. So they
Yep.
don't fight him; they just move him far enough away that they can
Yep.
clear out. Um,
Which breaks open for Clark about what if these attacks weren't actually attacks and they were recruitment
yeah, or at the very least,
and
kidnapping.
they're kidnappings,
Yeah.
right?
Um,
So.
I love Thorne's demeanor through all this. Actually, was cracking me up. She's just got
Mhm.
this very blasé, I'm going to kill everything attitude that was just
Well,
kind of amusing to me. Also, the soldier that he tries to talk to, Superman tries talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to try and lift off your mask because it booby trapped. I don't want to hurt you or
yeah,
anything like that." And he's like, "I don't know. I actually don't know if that,
right.
what's going on in my suit." It does kind of sound like, is he brainwashed? Is he sort of been forced into this role? Is he this willing? Like, does he believe in what he's doing? Like, it really was making me sort of think of these questions, given the way he was reacting. But yeah, he gets teleported to India, and then Clark comes to Perry, kind of pitching the story that, oh, maybe they're being moved, and Superman's on the record, blah 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 blah.
Yep.
Um, So is what it is. And then we end the issue with Good, much like Leon at the start, gets the drone and the offer. And yeah, what was interesting about this though is when he makes the offer, he heavily implies that she doesn't really know her origin story. Like it's kind of a mystery to her, and he does know how she got her powers, and he would like to give her that knowledge.
Right.
And notably, it says next time Naomi, so I'm pretty pumped about that.
So we see this, red mist cloud kind of almost demonic creature. Do we think that's part of her origin, or do you think that's, like, is that her, like when she attains her, final form?
Maybe. I wonder if she's just like taking a scary form to try and like because she's in defense mode because she doesn't trust Lex.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't get a beat on. I didn't know if that was her. I didn't know if that was like actually like her true or what. Like what can she do? So I do like that. It's still giving because I immediately thought like, oh, she's like a demon, and that's why she's able to take out Superman because it's magic based.
Yeah.
No,
I can see
I don't
that.
know. Or if Lex had unlocked this, you know what I mean? That's part of the offer.
What makes the offer bits in this issue work for me is they both like tell us something new about the character. Because I think what's different to a lot of the other books is that the two characters who get the offer in this book are both new characters and we're still learning a lot about them. And both of these scenes reveal some bits, about their character that we didn't necessarily know yet. And obviously we knew Leon was secretive, but the idea that even if someone does find out who she is and tries to like build a bridge with her, she just like no, she's disconnecting. She's going off the grid. She is going even deeper into hiding.
She's gone this far and done this good without help from Lex Luthor. Yeah. Of course she's not going to say. Of course she's not going to take the help. So, but yeah, no, I like that it broke from the formula of that too. That they weren't like I didn't get to the offer at the end of this one and be like, oh, okay, another one of these, like I did in some of the other ones.
Yeah, no, action's building up more of the Leviathan stuff, so it's obviously very heavily kind of tied into that, but it's still building up its own supporting cast, which is nice. And the art is pretty solid throughout. I thought
the skill at which Bendis can juggle Event Leviathan, Year of the Villain, the stuff going on in Superman, Naomi, and it doesn't feel, at least to me, like it's weighing down the Action Comics story. Just again, it feels like a tapestry, and he's managing.
He's definitely done the thing where he's had two books of the same. In the past he's had Avengers and New Avengers. He's had all new X-Men and Uncanny X-Men. He's definitely done this before where he's had like two books that are kind of very related. They're both kind of ultimately becoming one big story, but they're kind of separate for the meantime. And this is kind of doing that plus Event Leviathan, and then apparently Naomi is also going to tie in next issue. So, what are you giving it, Matt?
I'm giving it an 8.
Yeah, I'll also give it the solid straight 8.